We now have a verdict in a legal dispute between a conservation organization and Bloodvein First Nation. The Manitoba Wildlife Federation, which represents the interests of hunters, filed for an injunction against the First Nation in October. They allege Bloodvein is unlawfully blocking a highway and turning away licensed moose hunters. CTV's Joseph Bernacki sat in the courtroom this afternoon and now joins us live. Joseph, what was the verdict and how did both parties react to the judge's decision?
John, this was a case that drew a lot of attention from many First Nations across the province. Several people from the Northern First Nation came to court to hear the verdict today. A Manitoba judge dismissed the injunction motion, but both sides showed relief. Justice Theodore Bach told court this afternoon that the Bloodvein First Nation checkpoint will continue to operate. The nation says it's required to prevent drugs and alcohol from flowing into the dry community. And the MWF says they are pleased the First Nation has agreed in writing to allow licensed moose hunters to pass through. That is timely as moose hunting reopens December 1st.
Bloodvein First Nation has promised on 3 separate occasions to allow licensed moose hunters past the check stop, and we fully expect that they're going to honor that promise.
As Chief of Bloodvein River First Nation, I am deeply relieved and grateful that the justice system has acknowledged what we have long said. The checkpoint is about protecting the safety, health, and the dignity of our people.
Justice Bach said in his written decision that moose hunters would be inconvenienced but not wholly prevented from entering the territory if the check stop remained.
So Joseph, did Justice Bach write about how this dispute fits into other conflicts between moose hunters and First Nations in Manitoba?
John, he did, saying there are 3 other proceedings currently before the courts, and that this case takes place in the larger context of who should be hunting moose, when, where, and how much.